You know, I started this review thinking pistol replica, but it would probably be more realistic if we thought hand cannon replica. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. This week is a closer look at the Cybergun Desert Eagle 50 cal replica pistol. What a beast! I can see this being very popular and I already want one. Let's start with the stats and walk around, shall we? Well, I suppose we should start with its full name, because this is the WE Magnum Research Desert Eagle L6, which is quite a mouthful, but is also affectionately known as the Deagle. It is a 12-gram CO2-powered replica that is 280mm long, tipping the scales at 1.2 kilograms, which gives it a nice handful feeling, holding 14 rounds of BBs. It is all black with a small amount of markings that are there to give authentication to the pistol. These could easily be removed, but I don't see them as too gory or in your face, as it were. Now, I often comment about the grips and trigger distance, because whilst I don't have particularly big hands, I do have piano fingers and often struggle with small grips. No such issue here. This is a proper handful. Perhaps not one for the more petite individual though. From the front, it has that vented front end or muzzle brake style with the front open, sight on top. This flows back to the Picatinny rail, which immediately means you have the option of a red dot if you want. Now, it's worth mentioning that the semi blowback action on this doesn't move that top rail, so it's not going to shake your red dot apart. Which means you probably don't have to spend a fortune on one that will stand a magnitude 10 on the Richter scale. This continues back to the rear open and fixed sight. I suppose the sighting system on the original was somewhat pointless once you let loose with a 50 cal round from this thing. Probably simply pulling this out would be enough to scare anybody to death. There is a rail on the underside for even more options. Just behind this on the left hand side is the slide release button, which it does, but sort of doesn't, because the slide itself stays on and the barrel assembly comes off. And I must say, it's pretty easy. Push the button, turn it over, turn the cam, and off it goes. Simple as that. And it does reveal the twin spring system inside. Now, this top will also then be removed if you want it to as well. Remove the magazine first though. There you go. And it takes the whole thing apart. Drop that in place. Drop that in there. Job done. Now, that twin spring system on these should mean a heavy action for realism, but there may well be a trade-off around the shot count because of the extra gas being used. But who cares? Buy your CO2 in bulk and it's all good. The safety is a dual item. Because of the rest of the world, there is a full auto option. So click the dual-sided safety all the way up and it's full auto. Into the middle, it's single shot, and all the way down for safe. Sadly, full auto is not an option here in Blighty, probably following a complaint from the Tin Can Protection Union or some such organisation. It will be interesting to see your comments around that one. The grip is, well, brilliant. It's a fabulous rubberized item and has, and as I've already said, a proper handful. The mag release is on the left hand side. as usual, and just behind the trigger, which, must be said, is actually a really nice trigger for a replica CO2 pistol. The magazine is gravity powered as opposed to any spring release action. The 12 gram CO2 is fitted through the side, having unscrewed the hex key in the bottom, slide in, quick tighten, and you're there. Now the BBs do need to go in through the top of that magazine because there is no entry port, but you do have a pull down and a lock into place, so then simply feed your BBs, whoops, missed, BBs into the top until you've got all 14 in place. Once you've done that, release the spring, put it all back, and you're ready to go. This does have a lock open after last shot for added realism and to prevent you firing empty, of course. Let's get this over the chronograph, shall we? Now, I'm not expecting silly high power figures because even though this is a replica of a hand cannon, it's just that, a replica. So, loaded up with 5.4 grain steel BBs, it saw 333 feet per second, which is 1.3 foot-pounds or 1.76 joules. I then tried the Dust Devils, but to be honest, it was somewhat hit and miss, and I probably wouldn't recommend shooting them. So, next move was the lightweight blasters, to see if this could be used inside, in such as a garage or a little barn or something like that during winter. Well, it was quite happy with them, and it saw 510 feet per second from the 2 grain ammo, which is 1.16 foot-pounds or 1.57 joules. Again, not looking for higher power, just usability indoor and outdoor. Well, time to have some fun with this and get it out on the range for some tin can busting fun. I'm going to pop a red dot on the top to see if it can be accurate enough for a spot of target work and, of course, to make it easier for me. The Desert Eagle, the Deagle, absolutely fantastic. 50 cal, this is a handful. You know you've got something in your hand with this. I really, really like this. Everybody I've spoken to who's picked this up have gone, wow. Yeah, they're really good. It's just amazing fun. The slide obviously comes back, leaves the barrel and everything in place. It's just terrific. Sadly, no full auto in the UK. It is only single shot, semi-auto, but amazing fun, real kick to it, and what it's really designed for is this, tin can busting. Lock open after last shot as well. I love it. I really, really love it. That is one serious piece of kit. The only thing is, to be absolutely honest, it loves getting through CO2 because of that action. So you've got to expect that you're going to use a bit of CO2 up. And you will do because you just got to keep going at it. Today is a really bad day because it is so very, very cold and it's eating through it anyway and it's creating its own cold. But a tremendous piece of fun for not a lot of money. The Desert Eagle with a red dot on, just because. Let's test it for accuracy, although it's irrelevant really, it's not designed for that sort of thing, but in the interest of science, and this is a very scientific program. That's it, that's enough just to find out. Let's have a look, shall we? You could argue that there's a group forming. It's nothing amazing, really, is it? It's not designed for that. We know it wasn't. It was just done for laughs and giggles, really. But I think you probably could get it to do a bit of damage on a target. Back to the studio. Well, just how much fun is that? I really love it. It's great fun. A proper pistol to show your mates and have some serious fun with. It is a handful, weighty, sizable, and really looks the part. Price-wise? Well, this may well be a bit of a shock to you because this is currently £149 UK, which I think is pretty good value for money. And of course, you're firing 4.5mm ammo that is as cheap as chips, rather than trying to afford 50 cal ammo. This is definitely one of those times I can say I've enjoyed this one. Hopefully you have too. If so, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, click the alarm notification bell, visit the AAR on Air website for chat, merch, and of course those amazing competitions. A big thank you to Vector Air for getting hold of this for me to review for you. That's it from me this week. Please stay safe and shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Yes.